just won't have to hang out. Because the enemy has a ministry. Matthew 13 and Mark 4. You better get serious about it. That's his ministry. So when the word comes to you, he want to pluck that word out of you. But if you change your environment, he can't snatch nothing.
Yes. Amen.
You attend to that sucker too. You'll fight for it.
Right. Amen.
Some of the stuff that you get, you have to fight for it. You have to fight to be holy.
Right.
Amen.
Yes, sir.
You have to fight to walk honorable. You have to fight to be respectable.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So we got to get that and understand it in our spirit. So as we submit to the process, if we understand that we've been conformed to the image, if we understand, as I started off initially, the prodromos, we'll talk about that in a second. The prodromos, remember out of Hebrews 6 and 18? He's gone on before us. He's the first fruit. He's a forerunner. And that's what we're comprised of. We've been engrafted into that family. We take upon ourselves that family name. So we've been generated out of God. And then since we've been generated out of God, those that are born of him, we come into a completely new realm of understanding. So we don't try to decode things from a natural perspective. We don't look through that old lens. The old mind. Am I right? Our eyes have been anointed with eye salve. We can see clearly. The lens of Christ is the only lens we want to look through. So he became our true understanding. So we're not listening to lying vanity. We're not listening to when our body tells us, I'm not going to church tonight, or when our body tells us, you know, you're too tired to study. No. I buffet my body. I bring my body under subjection. Say, no, I'm going to give this 15, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, 30 minutes, 35 minutes, 40, whatever it is to God. I'm here to tell you, because once you place priority on it, and it become a commonplace for you, or something that's actually a part of who you are, your own soul going long for more. I don't know about you, but I've been in studies and find myself in 3 hours later.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey man, been studying, and it was light when you first started studying. And you can walk upstairs and find out, hey, where the lights went. But so he gave us the Holy Spirit to help us to engage into this process. So with those that are born of God, as you begin to recognize I'm being conformed to him, I'm seated in the heavenly places. And as my perception grows such, that I can partake of the spiritual realization of who I am, who I really am. You'll begin to realize that Christ is the truth, and that all truth is born of him. Remember, they tried to come against Jesus, and Jesus told them, I'm not of the world. That speaks volumes. So if my kingdom hadn't been of this world, it would come and fight. But it's not. Our understanding has to be changed. We need to draw from another source. Our true identity is in the nature of Christ. Amen? And we must redefine and rediscover his attributes. And anything that's inconsistent with his character is not of God.
Yes. Amen.
Be it living a lifestyle that's independent of the Spirit of God, or being seduced by religion. If it doesn't reflect the nature and the character of God, it's inconsistent with who he is. That's why it is time for us to forget about ourselves and our religious pedigrees. They actually, when you start acknowledging your spiritual progress, that's when you get in trouble.
Yes.
When you think something belongs to you, or when you think that you're a little further along than others, you just disqualified yourself from a deeper relationship with the Holy Spirit. So them pedigrees, religious pedigrees, all of us have them. Some of us still entertaining them. We can't entertain those things. So even stuff that's been passed down generational. That's why some stuff you can't check with other folks. You have to pray and say, God, send me somebody of like spirit. Because some things God will give you, and then they may not be as excited
That's true.
for you. I know. I got a family of them. I used to share stuff. They look at me like I was crazy. They basically, the look they have is stay in your place. You get too big for your britches. Am I right? Y'all don't know about that. Yeah, I'm serious.
Yeah.
Because you get excited, God start visiting you and open up your senses and start downloading stuff from the Spirit of God. See, some of y'all, you need to long for that. It's your inheritance.
Amen.
Eyes haven't seen, ears haven't heard, neither have it into the hearts of men. Am I right? But God, by His, has revealed them unto them that love Him. And we're called according to His purpose. And He said, that's all right. My spirit man searches all things. Your spirit man, without any affirmation from the Spirit of God, is searching. Most of us is frustrated. We don't understand. It's because our spirit man is lacking. Even though it's filled, even though that is sealed to the day of redemption, most of the lack of spirituality we have is because we've not learned how to do what I taught on a couple of years ago, living a pneumaticals life. Learning to cooperate with the new man that's in you. And allowing him to educate you through the Spirit. That's when you start getting little things start happening to you. You start getting dreams. You start getting visions. You start having words. You start getting thoughts. And you start, anybody ever had any, you minding your business and all of a sudden something just come up on the screen of your mind? And from that point of contact, because that is your point of reference. And after that point of release, it's up to you. Because God is stirring you out of your place of comfortability. He's training you. He's testing you to see what you're going to do with it. He's not tempting you because he don't tempt no man. But he's trying to get you out of routine. Look, God is a stalker. Okay, if nobody ever told you, he does. He stalks you. The eyes of the Lord go running forth through the whole earth to show himself on behalf of them whose heart is perfect. It don't mean you don't do anything wrong. It means dedicated. If you look it up in Amplified, dedicated, loyal, and consecrated. In that order. Dedicated, loyal, and consecrated. That's who we're looking for. People say, you know what, God? You can invade my circle, my world, anytime you want to. Thank God I got a wife that understands those interventions. I don't know how many times we get ready to go out to eat and the Holy Spirit said, ain't that rude? Ain't that rude, right? You get ready to go out with your wife and all of a sudden the Holy Spirit, what happened was I started studying in the day. That was the problem. If I should have just left it all alone. And I started studying in the day, and all of a sudden, the Holy Spirit said, uh-oh, I'm like, I can hear the lover of my soul. But I got the lover of all more than just the soul. And I used to tell her. And she, believe it or not, she didn't understand it all the time, but for the most part, she understood it. Unless she was hungry, she said, I just get something in the house. That's how she is. She said, I just put something together. She'll tell you off the top, she don't have to eat. And she's real, she don't have to eat. She just grabs something. But that's the space that God has given me because of the assignment.
Amen.
Come on.
Yeah. I ain't trying to tell y'all that don't mess up your happy home. Say, Apostle, you heard the Apostle say it. It's all right, we ain't got to go out to eat. No, I didn't say that. It's your tongue. You interpret it in your own tongue. I did not say that. You lie, you fried. I ain't had nothing to do with all that. But it's time for us to give up and lay aside our religious pedigrees and the things that have been passed and the things that we learned, even what the culture is projected to us. It's time to lay aside all the carnal traditions that we've already conceived in our own thinking. And them high places that exalt itself against the knowledge of God. See, trust me, when you say it's time to make those transitions, I tell you that the ordinary common person is not going to hear it. They're not even going to try to see it or look for it. Because it's saying that it's a part of the death process. But to those, oh my God, but to those in whom this bear witness to, we're on a journey of change. I told you the Holy Spirit that sent in the earth when we did His wisdom to bring change to us from the captivity to the law of sin and death. You don't know how dastardly that thing still lingers on. As much as we try not to, the law of sin and death loves to work in our members. That's why it's very important to build yourself up on your most holy faith. Speaking in tongues is not just
That's right.
so much more than just speaking in tongues.
Yes.
It's learning to submit to the nature that's on the inside of you. Amen?
Amen.
That's when you get on the high calling. That's the high calling, when you submit to the voice of God on the inside of you. His promptings, His leadings, His dealings, His processes.
Amen.
Yeah.
See, when you don't have that relationship, when you don't submit to that process, there's an inability that causes you to scramble through scriptures and try to become relevant.
That's good.
Am I right? Come on, y'all know telling the truth. I'm just pulling the covers off myself. It's been about a decade or so. I remember I used to go through scriptures, highlighting and pulling out and doing this and dissecting it. And we had no life whatsoever.
Sir.
But when I not only put credence on the scriptures, but I exalted my intimacy with Him, it revolutionized the scriptures. It moved from ink to something that made me think. You get what I'm saying? In my mind, the ink, when it came, the very thing I began to think.
Yes. Yes.
And then what he said in Proverbs was true. When I laid down, it kept me. And when I got up, it led me. And when I was, the whole wonderful works of God's grace as it connects to the covenant. The new covenant has been afforded to all of us. See, that's the wonders of the new covenant. The old covenant, certain people got it. Kings and priests and prophets. I was going to say unholy Trinity, but the Holy Trinity. That was the administration of the old covenant. And we still reeling and rocking, and we still suffering from some of the decisions that was made under the old covenant, because now we have a pastor or a fivefold ministry gift, and they do all the thinking for us.